everyone, and welcome to the third installment of Westchester Knicks Weekly. I'm your host, Alex Fasano, alongside, as always, Ian Sacks. Our topics today: Westchester, a little disappointing this past weekend, dropping 2 back-to-back games against the Windy City Bulls. Also today, previewing the upcoming matchups for Westchester. They got a couple games against some division rivals. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first, Ian, what is going on with Westchester this past weekend? All-stars in the county center, legends as well. What happened?
On the first night of this back-to-back, they lose in overtime to the Windy City Bulls, and it all sparks from Denzel Valentine, 34 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, nearly missing that triple-double, and it all came crashing down for the Knicks in the fourth quarter. They had a 10-point lead, and it evaporated, and the play that forced overtime was the Bulls got a basket with 3 seconds left, and then Westchester turns it over after that. We go to overtime, play another 3 minutes. We spoke with Von Wafer after the game, and he said that simply the Bulls wanted it more than them.
The difference in the game, I think we relaxed. I think we thought we had it, and they were hungry, and they took it from us. Yeah, we relaxed. Game got tied. They had the momentum, plain and simple. It was over.
Then we come back the second night. No Denzel Valentine for the Bulls. He doesn't play. And the Knicks lose by even more. They don't score 100 in either of these games. They have to figure out what is going to work for them. They do not have Chase and Randall anymore. They need to move on from that and finally figure out what this team is going to look like the rest of the way.
Now, as you mentioned, Von Wafer, always a very key factor for this Westchester team. Actually, in the first game, scoring 20 points. Second game, 21. So Von Wafer, very, very key to this Westchester Knicks offense. But you mentioned losing more on the second night. Let me just say this real quick. First game on Friday night, Knicks had 4 players in double figures. Leading the way, Von Wafer. Saturday night, 6 players in double figures. Leading the way, Von Wafer. So obviously, he needs to be a crucial part of this offense, which he already is, but maybe you think they need to build their team around Von Wafer coming off the bench, maybe put him in that starting role more often than not, possibly even, make him that go-to guy, that shot that Chase Randall was before he went back up to the NBA with the 76ers. Von Wafer has to be your guy in this case because obviously, you said it, they're not reaching 100 points. They're still getting 6 guys in double figures. How do you not reach 100 points at that point? What is going on with Westchester? Von Wafer needs to be their guy.
Well, that's the biggest puzzling thing. 6 players in double figures. That's a guaranteed 60 points right there, and they can't get there. Von Wafer over 20 points, so that's a guaranteed 70 points right there. All you need are 30 more points to get to that 100-point plateau. Von Wafer, 4 straight games with at least 20 points. He's definitely the guy who has stepped in the most for Randall, but he can't do it alone. He's not as talented as Randall, and he needs other players like an English to step up. He even said that he and English are a great 1-2 punch. They feed off each other. That's what I need to look for if I'm Westchester.
It's just whoever gets hot, we just try to ride off of it. Just positive wave. Anything positive, anything good, it's gonna be contagious.
And as you mentioned, Damien English scoring 18 points in both of these matchups. You mentioned him and Wafer can be that quick 1-2 punch. Honestly, they got to just start building their team around these guys. That offense is just not producing, and maybe these two can be those spark plugs, as you often say, for this Westchester team.
That's exactly what they're going to need, especially not knowing when Maurice Endor is going to be with the team, not knowing when Marshall Plumlee is going to be with the team because they jump back and forth with the big leagues and the Westchester Knicks. So those are the 2 guys, English and Wafer, who really need to be the foundation for Westchester if they want to make a run at the playoffs, because right now it's not looking very good for them.
Of course, obviously, because no All-Stars this upcoming break. Westchester had 3 last season in Jimmer Fredette, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and Jordan Baczynski. They have nobody. There really is no, as you often say, go-to guy, spark plug for this Westchester team. Maybe it is this 1-2 punch. Hopefully these two can really gain more chemistry as the season progresses. We got a whole half of the season to play, so it is a long next couple of months for the Westchester Knicks. Moving along to this upcoming weekend, we got the Maine Red Claws on Friday, the Atlantic Division leading Maine Red Claws. The last time Knicks and Red Claws met, Westchester was a whole nother team. They beat them by over 20 points. How is Westchester going to be able to dominate Maine at home again in the same fashion?
I simply don't think it's going to happen the way Westchester's playing right now. 3 games ago, they gave up over 130 points. The next 2 games, they can't even score 100. They are out on both ends of the floor, and when you're going up against a Maine team, that's always a tough out. Right now, they're leading the division, and they had one of the best records in the league last year. Westchester simply can't do it this time.
And of course, after the Friday night matchup, we have a Saturday game, another homestand against the Northern Arizona Suns. Now, this team is 13-15 in the Pacific Division. They're dealing with the Los Angeles Defenders, one of the best teams in the West. Do you think this could be that opportunity that Westchester is really looking for to turn the tides in this season right before the All-Star break? You got a below-average team in the Northern Arizona Suns. Can Wafer and English become that 1-2 punch in this chance? Is this their opportunity?
Well, what has me a little nervous for Westchester is that it's the second game of a back-to-back, and seeing how they came out on Saturday against the Bulls, and they were down 9 after the first quarter. They cannot have a slow start. They need to pounce on the Suns very early, and that's going to be the key to picking up the win.
And the All-Star break coming up in less than 2 weeks. Hopefully Westchester can turn the tides in this season as the months continue. Well, that's all the time we have tonight for Westchester Knicks Weekly. I'm your host, Alex Fasano. He's Ian Sacks, and we'll see you next time.